What if you were part of the last generation to ever need a job? It sounds like science fiction, but this isn't some far-off fantasy. A report from Challenger, Gray and Christmas revealed that by October of 2025, AI was cited as a reason for over 48,000 job cuts that year. This isn't a future we're heading toward. The ground is already shifting under our feet, and the scale of this is staggering. Goldman Sachs predicts that AI could eventually disrupt or automate the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs. This revolution isn't just for repetitive manual tasks either. It's coming for artists, software engineers, and even CEOs. Every single job, from the mailroom to the corner office, is on the table. So let's explore a future where every job has become obsolete. We'll trace a timeline from the tremors of disruption we're feeling today to a world where human labor has no economic value. And we'll ask the most critical question of all. What happens to us when no one has to work? The first phase of this AI-driven transformation isn't a forecast. It's already here. The disruption has begun, but it's happening in pockets, hitting some industries harder and faster than others. Industries like marketing, graphic design, and administrative support are feeling the heat as AI tools start performing tasks that were once exclusively human. According to the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, in advanced economies like the US and Europe, a massive 60% of all jobs are exposed to AI. The report suggests about half of those might see their productivity boosted by working with AI, but the other half faces the cold reality of their jobs shrinking, their wages falling, and eventually being replaced entirely. This is what makes this technological leap so different. It's not just automating assembly lines, it's automating thought itself. As thinkers like Andrew Yang have pointed out, a huge portion of modern jobs are repetitive cognitive work, making them perfect targets for AI. We're already seeing it happen. AI co-pilots are writing code, AI is generating marketing campaigns, and AI is even designing new products. But here's a strange paradox. For now, some studies show that companies diving headfirst into AI are actually growing faster and hiring more people. They're using AI to become ridiculously profitable and then reinvesting that money into expansion. For the time being, human workers are being shifted to new roles that AI can't quite handle yet. This is just a temporary grace period, though. Today's generative AI is getting smarter at an exponential rate. The tasks that seem safe for humans today won't be safe tomorrow. This initial disruption is just the opening act for a much deeper, more fundamental transformation that will shake the very foundations of our society. As we slide into the next decade, what started as a trickle of AI-driven job loss becomes a tidal wave. This is the messy middle, a period of intense social and economic chaos. We're no longer talking about a few percentage points of unemployment. We're talking about a full-blown structural crisis, where millions of people suddenly find their skills are permanently obsolete. This is where society could really start to fracture. The IMF explicitly warns that AI will likely make income inequality much worse. A new chasm will open up, not just between the rich and the poor, but between those who control and leverage AI and those who have been replaced by it. High-income workers who can use AI to amplify their skills will see their fortunes skyrocket, while a majority could be left further and further behind. Facing this crisis, governments will be forced to look at radical solutions. And one idea will dominate the entire conversation: universal basic income, or UBI. The concept is simple. Give every citizen a regular, unconditional cash payment to create a financial safety net in a world without jobs. Proponents like Andrew Yang have long pushed for a freedom dividend, suggesting a tax on the very AI companies driving the automation to fund it. And we actually have real-world data on this. A pilot program in Cook County, Illinois, gave households $500 a month. Early results showed that 75% of recipients felt more financially secure, and 70% reported a positive impact on their mental health. But the evidence on UBI is complicated. A larger, 3-year study, backed by OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, gave 1,000 low-income individuals $1,000 a month. The results were nuanced. People spent the money on necessities like food and rent, and it gave them the freedom to be more selective about work, with some even pursuing more education. However, participants worked slightly fewer hours, and the study didn't find evidence that they used the money to land higher-paying jobs. This reveals the central challenge of UBI. Is a monthly check enough? Even if it were, the cost is astronomical. One analysis suggested that giving every citizen in the UK £1,000 a month would cost nearly 4 times its entire national healthcare budget. It's a price tag that most governments have so far found impossible to swallow. This messy middle will be defined by this debate, a frantic search for answers while social tensions boil over. UBI offers a simple, elegant solution, but the data suggests that money alone might not be enough to solve the crisis on the horizon. By 2035, the debate is settled. AI and robotics have become so capable that human labor is, for all intents and purposes, economically useless. Every job, from the simplest to the most complex, can be done better, faster, and cheaper by a machine. We've officially entered the post-work world. So what does it look like? Here, society faces a fundamental fork in the road, leading to 2 radically different futures. In the first scenario, we've managed to implement a global system of universal basic income. The unimaginable wealth generated by the AI-powered economy is taxed and then distributed to everyone. Basic needs are met. Poverty is a thing of the past. But now we're staring down an even deeper problem, a crisis of purpose. Work was never just about the money, was it? It gave our days structure. It built communities, and it provided a sense of identity and contribution. Even UBI proponents like Andrew Yang admit that cash alone isn't a cure-all. People need to feel needed. The UBI trials hinted at this. With their financial needs met, people didn't all spontaneously become artists, entrepreneurs, or community organizers. Without the framework of a job, society could drift into a state of mass apathy, plagued by the mental health issues that come with purposelessness and social isolation. But there is a second path. This future recognizes that a simple cash payment isn't enough. Thinkers in this space, including Sam Altman, have started evolving the idea of UBI. He's questioned whether traditional UBI would just make people feel passive, and has floated ideas like universal basic wealth, where every citizen gets a direct ownership stake, a share of the AI itself. This leads to a society that doesn't just hand out money, but actively works to redefine what it means to be a valuable human. Productivity is no longer measured by economic output. Instead, it's measured by creativity, community service, caregiving, and the simple pursuit of knowledge. In this world, the goal isn't just to keep people fed and housed. It's to build a new social contract that separates human dignity from employment. This society would still be funded by a heavy tax on the automated economy. But instead of only funding cash payments, that money would also fuel massive public investments in education, the arts, community spaces, and scientific exploration, creating a rich ecosystem of meaningful things for people to do. This future requires more than just a new economic policy. It demands a cultural revolution, a complete reimagining of what it means to live a good life. We've traveled from the first tremors of job loss to a future where work itself is a distant memory. We've seen how the initial chaos will force a desperate search for solutions like UBI, and how even those might not be enough to solve the deeper, more human crisis of purpose that follows. The road to a post-work world isn't just an economic challenge, it's a philosophical one. It forces us to ask, what are we without our jobs? Are we just consumers, sitting around waiting for our next UBI check? Or are we creators, explorers, and community members, finally free to pursue what truly makes us human? The path ahead isn't set in stone. The choices we make in the next few years, how we regulate AI, how we support displaced workers, and how we define human value, will decide whether we build a utopia of shared prosperity or a dystopia of idle despair. So what do you think? Utopia or dystopia? In a world where you never had to work again, what would you do with your life? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this journey into our AI future valuable, please like this video And subscribe Jayesh Ki Duniya for more explorations into the technologies that are shaping our world.